So the air conditioners just kicked on. It got 75. It got warm real quick here. It was chilly this morning. Heidi had the little heater out again. And our kitchen started getting clustered again. Look how fast that happens. That is so quick. Heidi made us breakfast today. She's preparing for the lunch, what we're going to have for lunch today. And these are the snacks from last night. Pretty self-explanatory how stuff gets really jacked up real fast.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream.
We gotta make sure that we keep on putting everything back in its place every single time we can, and that's kind of our thing. We're going to try to be a little bit more better with our. We keep on reusing these water bottles,
mostly to put in the refrigerator.
but we have these.
Yeah.
We went ahead and bought lids for them again because I got rid of my lid years ago, and
Actually, you used yours, and then it went bad. Then
Yeah.
you used mine, and so now we have lids, and we'll try to be a little environmental friendly.
Our neighbor's out walking the dog out there. He works from home.
They
And
all, whenever you
his
walk
home
your
is
dog,
his home is right there.
people don't walk their dogs.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
They take their dogs out to pee and poop, and then they go back in and put a dog.
Yes.
Don't
yeah.
have a dog if you're going to do that.
But most of the time, 5 minutes, that's it. They bring them out, they do their business, they go back in, and that's it. And I don't know what the deal is, but the temperatures aren't so hot that those dogs can come outside and enjoy themselves.
What do we know? We don't have a dog.
Yeah, we don't have a dog. Maybe
Just
we're
see
wrong.
What we see. What do I know? I don't have a dog.
Yeah, we don't have a dog. So, we're doing nothing today. Actually, Heidi has how many things listed on Facebook Marketplace?
4.
And I've got to list a thing on Facebook Marketplace. I was hoping to find something that we misplaced, but the chances are, as Johnny Mathis say, chances are very slim that I'm going to find it, because I don't think we have it anymore. All right, so Heidi tells me that it was 52 when she came out here this morning, which it was kind of chilly last night. Currently it's like 54, and it's going to be 79 today, and then the next 4 days we're in the 80s. We didn't cover up the bikes. There's no need in it. There's no rain in the forecast for at least 3 days. The truck and RV may or may not get some attention here if this guy calls us back. I went ahead and sent a message to him through his website, and he said that he will give me a call this morning. Well, I don't know. 9:45. It's morning to me, but maybe he wants to wait a little bit longer. So there's a couple things I want to talk about, and we're going to try to squeeze it in on this video, and that is the snap pads that we have. They're awesome. I love the fact that we haven't done anything as far as wood blocks or anything. Even though I have them on the back of the RV, I didn't even bother getting them out, and these have been doing very good, making a good footprint in the ground to keep the RV steady. So yeah, watch my video on those in the past that I did, and this is like a new release that they just started offering for travel trailers. For those of you that tried to order them, they were on some kind of a back order. You see I have a piece of wood underneath the front. That's going to change here shortly because I ordered that one too. That should be delivered here. I should check the shipment and see when that's going to be. It might be soon. So yeah, the snap pads, there's a link I believe down below. Awesome. I can't, there's nothing wrong. Great investment. So far, perfect. Again, I don't have to worry about taking that wood out and setting it down, which I did before. And of course, picking it up, cleaning it up, and finding a place for it, which we did finally on the back. So why am I standing here consistently? Because I want to talk about the bikes real quick. There's a few things that we did for the bikes right away. When you get your bike, if you get the the Rad Rover, which is the bigger one here, which we'll talk about these in full detail in future when we have more seat time with them. It won't come with the front rack, and it doesn't come with a rear rack. I went ahead and bought those and added them. It doesn't come with a phone mount. I bought that and added it. I'll put the link down below for the phone mount. It doesn't come with a rear view mirror. I bought that and added it on both of our bikes. And of course, the link will be down below for that also. Now, as far as the front rack for Heidi's bike, same as the front rack for this one. We added that. However, her bike comes, it's part of the frame. Her bike comes with the rear rack. We upgraded her seat, and it's doing okay. However, we're waiting for a seat for my bike today, and I got a really big one, but I didn't like it. So I got another big one that's a little bit different design. We'll see how that goes. And again, that'll be in the future video. And the lock is just a beast. I don't know how to describe it, but this thing is a beast, let me tell you. If anybody really wants these, though, they can get them. They can steal them. It's just a part of life. But I don't have any fear. We'll do what we can, and if it happens, it happens. So the bikes are kind of nice to take around and drive around. And a lot of you have your own ideas about the bikes and what you guys want to do and what you think you should do. I'm going to tell you that I'm a big guy. I have a truck with a full-size bed. Granted, we got a lot of stuff in there and we need to make some room, but I don't want a little folding bike. I understand it's convenient. I understand that they're making them better than they used to. I understand that they're powerful. They got great tires on them. And maybe in the future, we might go to those if we find that we're not using these that much. However, when we were out riding around yesterday, which was around the park here, there was a gentleman on a, well, there's lots of people on golf carts, but this gentleman stopped out front here and asked if he could interrupt our area and our time, and introduced himself. Really nice guy. And he had questions about him. And he wants to get it just like, he wants to get a bike for the same reason we did. He has a Class C, and he says, I don't want a towed vehicle. Now, he also has a home in the park on the other side. He's been there for like the last 6 years. But he has a motorhome, and he says, I really don't want to do a towed. And he goes, he rides bikes. He says, I think this might be something that would help me have a different means of transportation instead of taking my 26 motorhome everywhere. He says, which I do currently right now. He says, I go shopping with it. He says, I go to the laundromat with it. He says, I do everything that you would with a car. He said, so it's not a big deal. He said, it's 26 foot and it's very easy to drive around. He says, but rather have a bike. He said, I'd rather do that. He goes, I don't really want a towed vehicle, another whole vehicle that I got to tow behind me with, you know, tags and plates, and I'm sorry, with registration and tags and insurance and all that needing to be added. So this would be a more feasible means of transportation over a greater period and distance, you know, that you have to drive. If you're using it as a vehicle substitute, as a car substitute, then one of those folding bikes. I mean, I can imagine getting on this if the seat's a little bit more comfortable, but I can imagine driving, you know, 6 miles, 7 miles into town with it. I don't know about pedaling. Being a little bit on the lazy side. We'll see, maybe that'll change. I do pedal when we go out, it's just I need to pedal more. And same with HEIDI's. We got one that, you know, is a bigger frame, a little bit more comfortable, has suspension on the front. In my case, the tires are, you know, bigger flotation tires. They offer some suspension themselves. And of course the seats, HEIDI's has some kind of a built-in rubber spring. The one I'm getting actually has a spring in it. So it'll be more of a vehicle, and that's kind of why we have the racks. We want to make sure that if we go grocery shopping, that we have a place to put our groceries between the two of us, which we have a basket coming. We're going to attempt to install that on HEIDI's bike and see what that looks like. If it works, maybe we'll put it on mine. And then we have, again, the front racks. We could do the same there. So that's kind of what we're into right now. That's kind of what we're thinking about. as far as why we went with the bigger bikes and the cumbersome nature that they are. There's a reason. It's because they do offer pretty decent driving and riding over a greater distance, because I really don't want to necessarily take the truck everywhere if we're in an area that has nice bike routes and we can get from point A to point B on bikes. Why even bother breaking the truck out? I mean, it's sure, it's not a motorhome, it's not a Class A, it's not even a Class C, but you got to figure that it's still 22 foot long, I believe, and it's it uses gas and wear and tear, and the chance of it getting in an accident, to the point where now we can't hook up and tow our trailer somewhere without going and renting something. Yeah, that's not cool. Again, look in the future, we'll do a dedicated video just on the bikes, covering everything that we know about them, but I just wanted to talk about it for the time being. In the meantime, Heidi's got her Facebook Marketplace. Somebody's coming to get that, and I need to.
Not coming till noon.
Now they're not coming till noon. What a surprise. This is just, you know what? That's good to know that Facebook Marketplace in Florida is just like Facebook Marketplace in Ohio.
I bet it's kind of worse.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We'll see. All right, so we have to make an amendment to part of the video we just posted.
Okay.
I've seen more people walking their dogs
Today, yeah.
and playing with their dogs outside than the entire time we've been here.
Maybe because it's hot, a hot 74.
It's a nice 74. I have shorts on, and I have these really thin shirts, which I swear I should get stock in. I love these shirts. I love them. I don't know if you guys ever ordered from Rima, R-I-M-A, but Greg's got, remember, he's got one of those shirts. We gave him one.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, they're just really, really great shirts. So it's a warm 74. The breeze kicked up, and it almost felt like he was at the ocean, sort of, just for a brief period.
No, it didn't.
Okay, maybe it didn't. Just wishful thinking.
It was not even close.
Not even close. Heidi made a great breakfast, and she's gonna make a great lunch.
Lunch or dinner?
I don't know, man. Maybe in
we'll wait
between.
Yeah.
You see the dilemma we're in?
Oh yeah, it was
It's tough choices.
we get so much stuff to eat in there. It's funny.
Yeah. So, do we look any different? We just tried, for the first time ever, Popeyes. First time ever with the Popeyes chicken. All we got was just a 3-piece dinner, mashed potatoes, gravy, and everything. It was unique. Everything was unique.
Yeah.
Very good. Different tasting. Couldn't put our fingers on it. I mean, we did.
Gravy.
We did put our fingers on it, but
The gravy was.
right. The gravy for the mashed potatoes kind of tasted like something that might go on some sort of a fish entree. And what's the other thing? Even just the breading on the chicken was different. So anyways, just thought we'd tell you guys that we finally got to try out Popeye's chicken. All right, so this is the RV park, and it's early in the morning. No, not really. But this is the RV park, and the train tracks are right past this. This is the road that takes us to the RV park. But this is the water management district. It goes right alongside, and way back, if you see here, it goes way back. So we're going to try to take these trails and see what they're like today. See if the bikes can handle it. Heidi got some water. And let's see if we can see some snakes. So I'm going to try to do this really poorly. I'm going to drive with my right hand and I'm going to film with my left hand. But look, it says parking area because I don't know, the gate's all locked, but apparently you can park back here and camp. I don't know what the details are of why the gate's locked. Maybe it's because they don't want you coming in this entrance, but there's primitive camping back here, and then there's RV camping back here. You're dry camping. That's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool. Got a few campers up here, and you have what are these things called? Porta potties, porta johns, portalets, whatever. These are nice camping areas back here. It's kind of quiet. Yeah, there's some people over there. But the train tracks aren't far at all, so I definitely think you're going to hear some train tracks or trains coming through. Beautiful trees. This reminds me a lot like Virginia Beach, First Landing, with how big these trees are. But those were more twisted. They set a little lower. So here's another map. We'll take a look at this. See what this looks like. Basically the same thing, pretty much. What we just seen, less detail. And here is your permit drop box, so you can camp. This looks like a hunting cabin. I'm sure this is one of those things that is just like Three Lakes. It's basically managed by the same people, so they're going to have hunts on the following dates. We're not close to any, I hope. November 10 through 12. Yeah, we're past that, I believe. No, that hasn't happened yet, so I'm sure we'll hear some banging. Look how far Heidi, she just like, forget you, I'm out of here. Oh, it just got windy. But again, there's our RV park right there. So we'll pick this up later. Well, I can tell you that we definitely are happy about our bike purchase because we are way back into these woods, and I mean, there's nothing for miles, and we would have never got here if it wasn't for our bikes. I guess we could have taken our truck back here if we came the other way, but yeah. Thing is, I still need a different seat, so I've been standing most of the ride.
I want to stand too, but I probably flop.
Yeah, I ain't carrying her out of here. I might hook her to both of the back. I have to ride both bikes
Right?
at the same time, just drag her.
It's very nice today, though.
Yeah.
It's super nice.
Yes.
I got suntan lotion on.
I don't, because I got a t-shirt on. But
Not get any more.
it's thick.
Yeah.
It's really thick. I forgot how thick the woods get down here. Obviously, because they don't have a lot of cold weather to kill the foliage, but there's a lot of wet spots too. We passed like a swamp back there. Asked Heidi if she wanted to go swimming. She said no. But we'll take you a little bit further. Let me see if I can pinpoint where we're at. Well, someplace we shouldn't be, I'm sure. But we haven't heard train come for a while. Probably means one's coming. It's kind of nice that they give you a catwalk in case a train did come. There's some water down here. We'll have to see how the bikes do getting through that, because I don't think they like water so much. It's amazing how much granite rock is used. I mean, this is incredible how much. Do not something. Do not. Oh, trespass. Okay. Well, they shouldn't have hidden the sign. All right. We need all hands on deck getting down this one. All right, so Heidi decided to do some stunt riding earlier. And
Stunt rider.
yeah, she definitely she don't want to stunt ride through this now, which it's a little shady, but her shoes are just slip-on waterproof. Watch, it's kind of deep there.
Oh,
It's cold? Oh, that'd probably feel pretty good then. Maybe I should have stepped through there.
right. Yeah, I'm filthy.
Yeah, she wiped it.
I wiped out
It
because I
was-
thought if you go faster, you could get through faster. As always, I crashed.
Oh my God, it's funny. All right, we're gonna get back on the trail that takes us back to the main trail eventually.
Yeah, I don't like this rock stuff.
Yeah, this rocks, they're rough, but it's near the railroad. Obviously, this bridge is for water. This whole area probably turns into swamp, like back there. But, all right, we're gonna move along. Where are we?
Who knows? We're in the middle of, no. We're not quite in the middle, but
Yeah, we're out there. We're definitely out there. So yeah, we're gonna look at the map and try to figure it out. In the meantime, I'm hot. Since nobody's out here, I'm gonna take off all my clothes. No, I'm kidding.
over.
Scare the wildlife. I think there's a path right up here, but I gotta look at the map, so just thought I'd show you guys. I mean, this is really nice. Let me zoom in. I mean, there's really nothing out here for quite a ways.
We haven't seen anybody.
I'd climb the tree and see if you get a good overview of everything
way.
there. Go ahead.
I already flopped my bike. Now you want me to climb a tree?
Okay, that's a good point. Oh, by the way,
Michael's bike is better than mine.
no.
And this. stuff.
In this stuff, my bike's definitely better than hers because of how fat the tires are. Plus, I got all this weight for traction. But we were back there, and Heidi goes, "Oh, look, there's paw prints." And I said, "Where? I don't see them." And then she pointed them out, and I said, "Well, bad news." I said, "I'm looking down because I have no idea what's on my leg." I said, "Bad news." I said, "But those are some kind of cat prints, and the cat's paws were big." So I told her, I said, and the way you guys know, cats have a tendency, their prints are really in line. Dogs, they're just kind of all over the place, but cats, they walk in line. Just watch your cat walk across the floor, you'll see. So anyways, it was a little bit bigger than I wanted to deal with. I came protected. So this is like a really nice area. Apparently we're getting close to the Hillsborough River somewhere, which I don't think it's very big, but that's what they call it. And it's nice. This is like tropical back here.
Uh-huh.
So we'll set up a picnic. I hear something over here in the woods. It's something big. I'm kidding. I don't know what it is, but we're going to keep on going. We don't know where we're at this point. We're just kind of heading in a general direction.
We have 2 more miles to go.
How many miles we go so far?
I don't know how many miles. Oh, we went 6 miles.
6 miles. I'm gonna say we can do
Not
it.
even
26.
26. That's how much I have on my bike.
Oh,
We've
all
done
right.
About 6 miles so far.
Heading out down this hill. She's like saying, "Slow down, slow down," because we're definitely going down. Uh-oh, it is a river. I have no idea how we're going to cross that. She thinks a wild hog. Oh my God, we're not crossing that. Oh man. Holy cow. Okay. Wonder how deep that is. We can go around, I'm sure, somehow. Because this is like a big opening.
Go now.
Why get my gun out?
That was a hog.
No, it wasn't a hog.
Wild hog.
No, wrong. Wrong again.
What was it?
A bird. It's just a bird.
There's wild pigs in here.
Oh my.
That's sure what it sounds like.
Yeah, that's why they're charging us. So anyways, she's a goofball. We got to get across this. So there's got to be a way. Let's find out what way that it don't look that deep. There ain't no gators back here. Water moccasin, but thing about that is every time we've come up on a body of water, we've seen tons of little frogs jumping in. Obviously, if there was a lot of snakes, then there wouldn't be so many little frogs.
We ain't that outdoorsy.
Yeah, wonder what's in my shoes. So we had to, oh, I'll show you from the other side, but this is what we came up over. All these roots in that.
It does that sometimes.
Oh, that was funny. So we still got to get out of here. It's kind of all backwoods in that. I don't know if I can keep you guys filming and go this route or not, because damn her. She don't get that there could be a wasp nest attached to that, a snake hanging from it. Oy. Oh, my feet are all sandy and because although these snooks, you can get them wet just fine. They like to be dry when you wear them, though, afterwards. Is this the way out yet? And the funny part is, they list this as a bike trail. We followed paths, we followed signs that said this was a bike trail. It's just, that's all flooded there. So, wow. You see these logs we're going over? They're monstrous. So the deal was is we were going to go right through the middle of all this, but it's over 2 foot deep where that sign is. It was 20 plus inches. And I told Heidi, I said, I don't think I can carry the bike that high through that water because it is moving. It's mucky out there. So anyways, we're back on the so-called trail. Hey, I think we got cell signal. Somebody's asking about the generator we have on Facebook Marketplace. Just take a swim.
No.
Nobody's going to see you.
No.
Wow. All because we couldn't Baja across. So I guess that's the Hillsborough River. All right. It's beautiful out here, though. It's really nice. I could see, though, during heavy rains, this just being all tore up. I mean, just way underwater, obviously, evident by the stick. Yeah. All right, let me make sure I don't have any leeches in my shoes, and we'll continue on. All of a sudden, it says, no vehicles beyond this point. Well, I didn't see that sign on the other side.
They don't want them back here mudding.
Yeah, I can see why. Man. It's beautiful, though. It's still beautiful back here. Well, we're trucking along. I was doing 15 miles an hour on the bike, and all of a sudden we had a speed bump out here. It's eating grass. It's kind of cool. You're just chomping away. That thing can't hear you. Well, maybe he can. He ain't going to listen to you, though. But it's a pretty good-sized tortoise. But what do you expect? It is Florida. You can see where the vegetation is down considerably and how the trees are blackened. They did a control burn here, obviously, as a fire break, and also, of course, for, just like I say, vegetation control more than anything else. It's really cool looking. And then, of course, this side, it's pretty full. So we passed a bunch of houses back there. That was kind of cool, that they've got property that butts right up against this. But yeah, it's so nice out here. We did pass a camper, though. They were tent camping. They had a little Cavalier or something, didn't they?
Yeah.
They were packing up when we went flying by. Nice. We made it back to civilization.
We survived. We didn't get lost. Thank God for cell phones, though. We'd still been driving in circles.
I should have
Possibly.
brought my GPS, the real GPS.
We didn't get lost.
No, we didn't know where we were exactly
Right.
for about 5 minutes. Yeah, about 5 minutes. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, I've never been on a. Okay, it's the first time that we've ever been on a trail ride or a walk that was not defined. Not. I mean, some of it was just fine.
Should always bring your cell phone with you.
Yes, yeah.
Water.
Water. If we, the other thing we need to bring is maybe an extra pair of shoes. That would have been smart. Now we got to clean the bikes. There's a lot of.
I flopped my bike.
That was so funny. I wish I caught that on camera. She was going through this muddy, wet area,
that I could go
and she keeps on cranking the throttle, thinking, and it's just spinning out. She did a complete loop spin out. Like,
I didn't
what was
get
that?
hurt. I just laid it down.
Oh, that was so funny.
Oh shoot!
This breeze was really nice. I know it's probably playing havoc with the microphones, but okay. So, anyways, we're back. What's going on now that we're back? I have a gentleman that's driving about 45 minutes to come by the generator, and we're having Mexican delivered. That Taco Amigo DoorDash does delivery there, and it's 99-cent delivery. So we went ahead and ordered and having that delivered. Nice. Of course, we tipped the driver, and it's a little bit more, but the way I look at it is there is no chance whatsoever of my truck getting in an accident sitting here waiting for a delivery, so that's worth something. This is something that was popular when I was a kid, and I haven't seen it in years, but it's a mosquito fogger. Whenever I was a kid, we didn't know any better, and we used to run alongside of the truck. It was a big old tanker truck. We used to run alongside of the truck because we thought it was cool. It was spraying something in the air, but like I say, kind of funny hearing it now. I don't know if he's going to come down this row or not. He's coming this way, but out here my bare feet. It's a beautiful night. I don't know what the temperature is. It's got to be in the 80s. Yeah, here he comes. I'm going to back out of the way because I don't want fogged, but there you go. Like I said, when we were kids, we didn't know any better, but the mosquitoes are rampant out here earlier today. Heidi, I don't know, she don't get bit. Not as much as at least I do. Matter of fact, I just got bit on the toe by an ant. Yeah, it's funny seeing those things come through here. Yesterday, I did a regen on the softener salt. The softener, doing the salt regen thing. And I was thinking, I'm not going to wear any shoes. I'm just going to come over here. And I thought, I'll put some shoes on last minute. So I came over and the sun was really bright. And I unscrewed the tank and I picked it up and I set it right down here. And I'm like, okay, I got to turn it upside down to let the water out. So that's what I did. I turned it upside down. I was holding it. And then I'm like, look at all these ants on the bottom of the softener. And then I was like, wait a minute. Look at all these ants all over my feet. And anyways, I had to knock all the ants off my feet and the shoes. And here they had formed, I'm talking a big nest underneath this water softener in the, I don't know, the 9 days that we've been here. Holy cow, it was crazy. So that's what all this dark spot is. So I come over here with ant killer, the spray, and wanted to kill them on contact after I got them off my feet. And then I sprayed the bottom of that thing on the inside. And they all died almost immediately, but wow, I couldn't believe how many there were. So the deal is when I set it down here, a bunch of them fell off. A lot of them fell off. And then when I had it upside down, I was standing here, and of course they were running on my feet. So the ant situation was kind of interesting. Let's tell you about the weather real quick. First of all, it's breezy today, so the screen's continuing to hit the camera here a couple times. But let me get Heidi more in the frame, just slightly.
You can scoot in, dude.
Oh, there you go. The weather's just like yesterday. It's more cloudy, I think, today, but it's going to be in the 80s. And we're not rubbing this in, guys. I did this whenever we were in Ohio. I just tell you down here, it's dry. It's dry right now, though. It's not humid.
That's what I was saying
it's
before we
comfortable.
took off, that I was following some weather in Florida, and they said it was going to be dry this winter. And everybody said, oh, no, it's not dry in Florida.
Yeah, the humidity is, the dew point is 60 something. I mean, it feels very comfortable.
It doesn't, yeah. Like when we were here during the summer, well, not
You know what,
here.
it might be more humid than up north. You know why? Because you have kind of a glisten to you. So do I a little bit. So maybe we have more moisture on us than we realize, but this breeze is really...
Oh, that could be too. The breeze is, I mean, it's been breezy since we got here.
Yes. Did you hear that noise? That is when the tractor trailers that are driving down this highway don't slow down for that railroad crossing that's there.
It's got to be rough for them.
Yeah, at least their trailer. So anyways, the weather is going to be changing here, so that's one of the things that we were going to talk about is our bikes. We had a YouTube channel that occasionally we may come across. We don't subscribe to it or anything, and they had their bike stolen. It was an expensive bike, and they put a cheap cable on it. Come on, man. And then they said they were in a high-end park. Well, there's no such thing as a high-end park. I mean, Bernie Madoff, do you think that he was a bum? I mean, that guy was living the high life, and he took a lot of money. So there's no such thing as a high-end park. I mean, just because you paid more and the rigs might be more, expensive, that don't mean it. How did those people get those rigs? Not everybody does everything above board. And
Yeah,
that's a whole nother, go ahead.
It doesn't make them a better person.
Yeah, that's a whole other conversation. Who did they step on to climb the corporate ladder, and what kind of business do they own that they're paying their employees pennies on the dollar? Ooh, speaking of which, how did I need to get a job down in Florida? Florida minimum wage is $15 an hour. They just voted that in. You believe that? It's $15 an hour minimum wage. Man, let me go mop floors at Walmart for 20 hours a week for that. That's good money. You guys don't know where we coming from. I'm kidding around, but when I worked part-time when I was in high school, I worked at a drive-in theater, and it was my first tax reporting job. I worked under the table. I had a paper route. That one was so little I didn't have to report it. I also had I shoveled horse stalls on the weekend, like usually about 3 weekends a month, and then I worked landscaping. I also worked landscaping, and then when the landscaping, it all depends what time of year it was. Some of these jobs overlapped each other, and then I worked at a drive-in theater, and I came in part-time. Well, if you work part-time, you don't necessarily get paid minimum wage. At least back then you didn't. I don't know what the rules are now. Does part-timers have to make minimum wage?
It's all of this part-time, full-time. It's
Difference?
minimum wage. They can't pay a part-timer less than a full-timer.
Well, back whenever I worked the drive-in theater, that wasn't the case. I made $2 and I think it was $2.60 some cents. Do you remember what your minimum wage was?
I made at the bill collecting when I was working there. I made $3.35 an hour.
Yeah, I remember when they raised minimum wage to $3.25.
Yeah, I might have started at $3.25 or something like that, but I'm pretty sure it was like $3.35. Heck, I was making $3 an hour planting and picking pumpkins.
Yeah, and I was I think mine was $2.60 something an hour. I was making. This was back in 1984. This would have been in '84. So, anyways, $15 an hour is like this unbelievable number. I had jobs that I worked for years that I only made $9 an hour, $10 an hour. I remember when I first made $12 an hour. I thought I was the richest person in the world.
Yep.
Yeah, we're pretty low class. We're not we're low end campers. So, anyways, listen, if you're gonna spend $4,000 on your bike, links will be down below for this, obviously. You know why? Because to support the channel, we like you guys to use our Amazon affiliates link. If you don't need this, don't buy it. But if you're in the market, this is a 10mm chain that's on here. Look, I mean, it's thick. I know you guys aren't going to necessarily be able to see that. And even if you have a 20-volt battery-powered angle grinder with a cutoff wheel, and which I have in the back of my truck, it would be a kind of a pain in the butt with the cover and then the link moving around and things getting hot.
If we were rich, we could try it.
Yeah, if I had, you know, I wonder if I can. You know, that's a good point. There. Oh, look. Oh my. There's another cover. Oh, it's. Oh, I see. It's the end of the cover.
Oh,
I know this off camera, guys, but yeah, it's part of the cover. It's around that link.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, because I could cut this link and just go to the next one, but it looks like it's wrapped up pretty good. Yeah, that's a healthy bike lock, and it's expensive. And I've got one for mine. Heidi's got one for hers. They're almost $100 a piece for those. But the bikes were kind of expensive. I mean, for us, that's insurance to me. Now, don't get me wrong. We have like 4 cheaper cables. One of them's really nice, but it was for the Champion generator. But we have 4 cheaper cables that we
Could always put all of them on there and give them a real challenge. They would be making all kinds of noise.
Yeah, but the thing is, these chains are for like if we ride to the city and we go somewhere and we lock up and then we go into a business or something like that. That's what these locks are for. Or if we leave the campground, which we have, and we had the bikes, you know, chained up. The bikes are probably going to go in the back of the truck here. We're going to try to experiment with that. And the reason is we got a little bit more room in the back of the truck. Heidi sold one of our, on Facebook Marketplace, she sold the 50 amp surge protector. It was,
Whoa, it's getting a little windy.
You guys get sick there? You get seasick there? Getting moved again. Wow, look at that. That thing's really coming in. We had to move you closer. Hope you don't mind us being so close. We're definitely not social distancing the camera. The wind has picked up a little bit and was blowing us around. Heidi sold the 50 amp surge protector on Facebook Marketplace here that we had to buy when we went to Pirate Land.
Because we didn't have one.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't go see that little trip, go back and watch that video if you're new with us. We've got a lot of trips that maybe you should go back and just check them out if you're wanting to see more of what we did. The surge protector, though, that we installed, again, I did a video on that. You know, now we have that watchdog that's internal on the RV, and we have that autoformer that's internal on the RV, so we don't have to worry about it any longer. However, the whole idea of Facebook Marketplace down here, we went to try it out, and I sold the generator yesterday. Not the Honda, but that little Sportsman generator that I bought. And here's the thing, I sold it for more than I bought it for. It's because we got a really good deal on it. It was a closeout with Lowe's. We were buying one for our son, and I told Heidi, I said, hell, I'm going to buy one because they're so cheap. Well, we never used it, and it had its own tote in the back of the truck, so it's sold. A gentleman came by that didn't hardly speak any English, but boy, he was very happy to get it. I was very happy to sell it to him, and man, there was a lot of interest. Well, people love generators down here.
Well, they probably lose electricity whenever these storms roll through, and
speaking of which,
we got one rolling through.
So we've got
maybe tomorrow.
We got some extra room in the back of the truck. We're going to try to put the bikes in the back of the truck, make sure there's room there. I've got to do a modification to when you get the bicycles from Rad Power Bikes, which we're very happy with them so far. Heidi's picking lice off of me. I got lice. The bikes so far are really good, but when you get them in the packaging, the front tires are removed, and the front tires are they have some sort of a little cradle that they mount onto. It's perfect for putting them in the back of the truck. Well, anyways, I got to modify that for mine, and maybe we'll do that today. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, and this has to do with another YouTuber. Listen, I like watching his videos. I subscribe to him. and he didn't call anybody out by name or anything like that. But I'm going to tell you right now, there is nothing that I can find on any level that has yet even come close to telling me that it's unsafe, it doesn't work, or there's a problem using bug screens. All these bug screens that we have installed in the back. I know that you can't see it. Move your head that way just a little. There we go. Right above the chair here, I'm kind of pointing to it. That's the bug screens for the furnace, which of course we're not running. And then the hot water tank over here. There. That should be there. Right there. Those two screens.
We have 3 on here.
Then we also have 3 for the refrigerator for ventilation. We're in Florida. We've been in the heat. We had, it's not 100 degrees, but we were in 90 degree heat at home, and I've never had an issue with any of those. I guess the thing is the manufacturers, it's just like every manufacturer says the same thing, and that is, we didn't engineer our stuff to have this other thing on it. So usually what they do is they throw out this disclaimer of, well, if you run that, you're going to, we're not going to give you a warranty. Listen, unless they can prove without a doubt that that part caused the failure, there's nothing they can do about it. I mean, if I decide to paint that door, or even this door, if I decide to paint this door with Rhino liner and it's white, the manufacturer can't say, oh, you shouldn't have painted that color, and that we never tested our refrigerator using that type of a cover, and we're not going to warranty it. They have not come up with any specific reason that these things would cause first of all, we all know what these RV manufacturer warranties are like in the first place. To get a warranty after 1 year for your refrigerator or your hot water tank or your furnace because of a failure, forget it. So first of all, take away the whole illusion that there's this coveted warranty that once you buy your RV, the refrigerator, the hot water tank, the furnace, oh, I can't touch it. It's because if anything happens, if a funny noise happens, I can call and the Maytag man comes out immediately and they replace it and it's all free. No, none of that's a fairy tale world, and it don't happen that way. So first of all, I wouldn't even worry about the warranty, because most likely if your vehicle is more than a year old, you don't have a warranty. And even if you do, good luck. You're not going to have the RV in use, that product for use for who knows how long, till the new one comes in, and then even then you might have to pay for parts and labor. They'll give you the unit overall, but maybe you have to, all the small supply line stuff that hooks up for your RV, you have to pay for that because it's additional. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So first of all, don't think that the warranty is something unbelievable. Just expect when you buy your RV, if something happens, if it's within the first year, call the dealer and see what they can do for you. See if they can get it fixed. However, don't expect it to just be unbelievable. And so let's just ignore the warranty part of things. Secondly, and this is going back, not ignoring the warranty part of things, even if there was a warranty in place, they can't fault you for putting one of these bug screens on. Listen, we came down here knowing that I don't have to worry about mud daubers and wasp. I told you when we first got here, wasp are a problem. Usually they're back there, but there's a lot of wasp around here. And we haven't had any in here, knock on wood, but these screens are stopping any of those problems. Now, the gentleman that did the video said, look at the wind flow. I don't know if it measures the volume of air or if it was the speed of the air, one or the other. Nonetheless, he showed what the meter was with a fan blowing on it, and then he put the screen, one of these screens, the bug screen, he put that in front of the meter and he said, look, it's less. That is flawed so many different ways, because the amount of air that was being generated from the fan, of course it's going to get blocked. that wasn't a good example. He usually does a really good job and very, good explaining stuff, but in this case, that was a poor example. So what I'm trying to tell you is the amount of air that's coming out of there, it's not air, it's heat, and it's the heat being expelled. And I'm going to tell you that if anything, that thing might be a heat sink of some kind to help get the heat dispelled even faster, because there's a larger surface that's being exposed to that heat than just that vent that's on there from the factory. I mean, I've never done any experimenting with this, but what I'm telling you is I can't see a single problem with any of these. Now my furnace, the only thing that I seen is the screen got discolored from the heat because it's blowing directly on the screen, but at no point did anything run too hot. I mean, there was nothing going on that made me think on any level there was a problem. So out of all this explanation, because I did want to explain it to some extent, I'm going to tell you that there's nothing wrong with running these bug screens. I've talked about them in the past. I did a video on them in the past. Just type in RVdaydream and I think bugs or bug screen or something like that, and that video should come up. I don't know if I've got the video popped up here in a link, but if I do, click on that and you can see what I'm talking about. We're very happy we have them, and we don't have any problems with insects, and it's because of those bug screens. If there was a problem, there'd be a lawsuit or something. And again, just because you add something to your RV doesn't mean a manufacturer can void your warranty automatically because of that, unless they can show that it definitely, without a doubt, directly caused the issue. And I haven't seen any studies or any testing done anywhere. So again, the warranty's a joke in the first place. And again, the links will be down below for all this stuff. I wanted to talk about that. Most of you guys that watch our videos, it's like everything else. We watch a lot of videos that we don't subscribe to. Listen, if you're even thinking about maybe this is something you want to see where we go and how things, and you have control of it at some extent, if you comment down below, tell us, hey, we want to see you guys do this, we'd like to see. We read and try to react to almost every comment that we get. We try. I think we cover a lot of them pretty well. There's going to be a day that's not going to happen, but so far I think we're covering them pretty well. Well, comment, tell us. Maybe we're not, but subscribe. I mean, if you're watching this, just subscribe. It would help us, because our subscription count obviously makes a difference to YouTube's algorithm on which advertisers they're going to stick on our channel. And yeah,
click the bell.
Yeah, they always say ring the bell, and the reason is if you don't have that bell clicked on, you won't get notifications when we post a video. Again, I know there's a lot of you out there that's like us. I don't want notifications. I don't want to know when somebody when I'm ready to watch a video from those people, I will look for them. I'll have them saved in my search or something like that. I understand that entirely. But if you guys want to help us out, and if you are one of those that are on the fence, just do it. It's like they say, the subscription, to click the subscribe button is free for you, and it means the world to us. I mean, it really does. So that's kind of what it's kind of a serious video, I guess, to some extent.
Maybe.
Well, except for that bike ride, that was a joke. You guys missed it. I'll tell you what,
fun.
It was very fun. Hey, here's the thing. There were some real world challenges going on out there that I haven't experienced in a long time. Usually when you go to a campground setting, I think I already talked about this possibly, but when you go to a campground setting, and for example, if you went to West Branch and you wanted to ride the bike trails, there are bike trails there. And at the beginning of the bike trail, there's a nice little map. It's on a board. It shows you what the whole trail is and all the layout, so you know what you're doing basically. And throughout that trail, the trees are marked. They got bands on them, so you know if you're on the right trail. And if the trail is kind of questionable and it's too muddy, they'll have a sign saying it's closed. Too much, it's too muddy, it's too whatever. All right, so we go on this trail yesterday, and it's just a free-for-all.
I mean, there's some signs that pop up occasionally, and there's
But it doesn't tell you where to go. It just says
it's a trail.
It's a bike walk or a horse trail.
Yeah. It's either got a bicycle triangle, diamond, a horse diamond, or a hiking diamond. And then there's a number to it. I don't know what the number is. And sometimes they have numbers, sometimes they don't have numbers. But all I know is that we were out following what we thought was a trail. And I'm telling you what, we got into some rough area there. It was kind of interesting because you feel like you're exploring something, even though you're riding on cart paths or car paths. Obviously, the water management goes through there and brush hogs and takes care of a lot of that land. But, you know, then you think about how to avoid snakes, and, you know, you're supposed to stay on the path. You're supposed to avoid high grass. And I mean, our bikes, our feet were getting hit with grass. Yeah. I mean, not all the time, but there was a lot of times. And we were out in the middle of nowhere. I mean, just, it seemed like nowhere. Obviously, there's hundreds of acres out there. I don't know how many exactly, but there's a lot. And we were just kind of in the middle of it. I could have yelled as loud as I could. Nobody would have heard me. No.
We didn't see a side of the campers that were there, just a couple of them.
Yeah.
3, I think, to be exact.
Mm-hmm.
We were nowhere. That was at the beginning, and we were nowhere near. We didn't see anybody after that.
Yeah, it was it was nice.
It was
nice.
Pretty cool. I do recommend some kind of GPS.
Oh yeah.
Because if you
save the map on your phone.
Yeah, and if you don't have any sense of direction like me.
Oh yeah, forget that.
You
gotta have me with you.
Yeah, right. you definitely, because then you just been going and making wrong turns. I knew that we needed to keep doing rights, just when we were in there to get back where we were going. But there would have been a couple times that I would have made a wrong turn.
Yeah, the roads, like I said, there's a big giant perimeter. Problem is that whole perimeter you can't necessarily travel. Some of it's not traveled at all, and then you have to get off and start shooting through another way. I don't know. It was fun. But when we came up to the water crossing of the Hillsborough River, which you guys already seen, that one was like, man, I thinking about my back. I thought, if I hurt my back out here, I don't even know how I would get back. Yeah. And secondly, I don't even know if I can carry. I mean, the bike's heavy. I was thinking, man, maybe I shouldn't have added the bike racks on there. It was already 60-some pounds, and I added 2 more bike racks. I thought, man, the water, it had to be mid-thigh for me, for sure. Maybe even closer to waist at the one spot. It said 20-some inches, but where it was weird.
We didn't go in the center of it because
it was so wide.
Once you get in the middle, I mean, if it was mucky.
Yeah, that was something else too. We noticed when we first walked in, there was areas that were real mucky where the water was kind of still, but then there was water flowing, and since it's really sandy there was some areas that would be rutted in and kind of deep in a couple spots.
And the cell service wasn't that great
right.
in that area, so
I thought, man, I cannot.
We couldn't screw up.
So you should have. I wish I would have got better. I wish I would have got better coverage, because I said, I guess we can go through here. And Heidi says, what about all these down trees? I'm talking about trees that were about this big around, that were that far off the ground. So we had to get the bikes. I mean, there was times that Heidi was literally, I got her across with her bike. She went across, and then she got up on the bank and climbed up on the one tree, pulled her bike up, then got over that, and I'm talking about there's multiple trees, and she's now standing on like the next one. She's pulling, and once she got past a certain point, she got the bike past her, and I told her, I said, just hit the throttle, just pull the throttle, let the throttle work it. So the tire's spinning on the trees, and zzz, going up, and anyway, she got
bikes,
hers.
That's the downfall of these bikes, is they're kind of heavy.
Right now, and here's the thing. If I was to take the battery pack off, of the bike, and we would have carried the battery packs across, and then came back with the bikes and just pushed them through all that water.
Right.
I don't know what that does to those motors. I have to research that. It's DC, so it shouldn't make a difference that it's DC. If it's a DC motor, it shouldn't make a difference. But as far as like the cadence sensor and all that stuff, there is no, because that control module, I bet you we couldn't have done that. Yeah, there's a control module on the seat that I'm sure couldn't get wet.
Yeah,
Not to that point.
It's too early in the
Yeah.
game to be trying to screw them up. Plus, we were out in the middle of the. I don't know that we were in the middle, but
Always
we
pretty
was
close.
at least 5 miles into this.
Yeah, I'll
and,
put as she talks, I'll put a loop up, or a picture of a loop up here.
And when we came upon that, and we was trying to walk around it, there was really no way. And I swear that was a hog.
Oh
He
my
says it was a
God.
bird.
Heidi immediately.
It sounded like a freaking
Get out
hog.
your gun. Like, yeah, try to explain that. Try to
Well,
explain why I'm
If you go
out in the
on
middle
their
of the woods.
website, there are wild hogs out there. So anyway, we didn't see any.
I'm not a
The
hog
biggest thing that
charge
we
you.
seen was the turtle or tortoise.
Yeah, there was a big. Yeah, that was nice. That was kind of cool.
It was.
So we're enjoying ourselves. I wanted to make this video a little bit more entertaining, which part of it I think the ride might have been, but unfortunately this part wasn't. We're going to go inside. I'm going to go ahead and edit this video, and we're going to post it so you have something to watch. Somebody brought up, and I wanted to tell you guys, and he's 100% right, because I've done that. If you guys are one of these, oh, this video is so long. Listen, if you're watching on a computer right now, go down to the bottom of this video, and you can see that there's settings. If I'm not mistaken, it's under a settings icon. If you click on that, there's something down there at the bottom of the screen on the your right hand side that gives you the ability to change the speed. You can change the speed in which you're watching the video, and you can speed it up. And it's like about 1.5, maybe 1.75 seems a little bit too fast, but about 1.5 times speed. And you can watch the whole video, and you lose out on all my pauses and all that crap. And you can watch it sooner. So we're going to close this out, right?
Yep.
Because I think this one's
Rambled
gone
on
long enough.
long enough.
Yeah, way too long. So,
As always, we hope to see you out here. Bye.
bye.